Hey everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 16, episode 7. How is everyone today? What's up with you? What's new? What have you been doing with yourself? How was your Halloween? You may or may not know that I was like really sick for my Halloween, so I totally couldn't do my my Rambling Hour Halloween special, let alone anything else. I was just in bed for Halloween. It was not cool. One of my favorite holidays. And I don't know if you remember or not, but last Christmas I was sick too. No, it wasn't last Christmas. It was the Christmas before that I was sick. Or was it this? Anyways, I was sick after Christmas this year too, for a few months. I couldn't get better, but anyways, I'm feeling better now for the most part. I still got a bit of a sinus thing, but for the most part I'm feeling better. And I'm here to entertain. I thought about maybe I should start my rambling hour because it's like having a drink with an old friend, that not just smiling, but have whatever drink I'm having. But my cup I'm using says Snuggle Season because I wanted something more autumnal. And my gin glasses, there's none that are autumnal. As you may or may not know, again, I'm drinking pop. It's not coffee, it's not wine, it's just pop. Cheers. So I am just gonna get on with talking about everything. So my shirt says be kind. I think I might have wore this shirt before for you guys. And on the back, move my pony. Hopefully you can read that. I did do my little cartoon Bitmoji thing was it said road trip because we just got back from Steve's dad's and I didn't know if we were going to be back in time for me to do my live or if I would have had to do it from the car and hope that I had internet service. But we are back in time. Oh yeah, I wanted Mr. Hedgehog right there, the big hedgehog behind me. So one of the reasons I'm doing my live he's a big hedgehog. I showed you guys him when I got him last year, the year before, I don't know when I got him. One of the reasons I'm doing my live from the living room with this couch, and I'm in the corner of the couch, is this is not only the last rambling hour I will be doing with this couch, it's actually our last evening with this couch. It is going tomorrow, and our new furniture comes this week. So I love this couch. It's done as well. But it's just too soft on most of the seats, except this corner one is still firm. But most of them are just too soft, especially for Steve with his bad back. So it was time to move on to bigger and better things. Not bigger, smaller actually. We got two two-seaters and two armchairs. But they all recline, so be nice and comfy. And you guys will see them, I'm sure, in my lives. So it's one of the things I wanted to tell you guys about, doing my lives from here. Some other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. When I did my Halloween crafts, I told you guys that there was something in the air fryer, it was dehydrating, and I was going to show it to you guys, and I had started it before. Well, it was these little guys. So you take an orange, and you cut it in half. I ate the orange. I scraped it out and ate it. And then you do your little face on it for a jack-o'-lantern. And then you make holes on the sides as well, so you could put the string in there. And then you put the string like a little basket, and then you can hang them on your little tree or whatever you want to do. So I made two oranges, so 4 faces. Those are my other 2. They were easy, quick, and then air dried. And you don't have to worry if they're not flat on the bottom to sit flat, because if you're hanging them like little baskets, then... So I wanted to show you guys those. They dried out really well. The only problem in this country is nothing ever stays really dry. There's moisture in the air, so I'm scared that these will just... But then I can always put them back in the air fryer, in the dehydrator, to dehydrate them again. So what else do I have in my fancy pile of stuff? I have the Secret Garden Enchanting Messages from Quiet Spaces by Jessica Lee. I don't know if I showed you guys these or not. Oh, let me do a nice one with me. They are just how to use the cards. Whenever you need inspiration or guidance, sit in a peaceful spot and draw a card from the deck. Allow the quiet murmurs from the secret garden to guide you on your perfect path. So let's choose a card for today. And it's one of those things that I saw online and then, wanted to get. So that one, our card today is, put the other ones back in the box. Our card today is Patience. Wait for the fruit to ripen. So all of them have this on the back, and that's the way it looks on the front. So that's just something that was on my desk that I bought myself that I thought I would show you guys. I can't remember if I told you guys about this, but I have the workbook too. I don't have the workbook on me. It's over there. But I was waiting for this to come, and it is called Nobody Wants Your Shit. Because it is the art of decluttering before you die. I'm not planning on dying anytime soon, but the amount of stuff I have, I've got to start on this. First half of the life, collect all the stuff. Second half of the life, get rid of the stuff. Where are my glasses? On my head. All right, so you may have, this is by Messy Kondo, the author of Tidy the F Up. And you may have heard of Swedish death cleaning. You might not have. Let's see. Filled with practical and yes, direct advice. Nobody Wants Your Shit both validates and empowers the reader to move through their anxiety and face the stuff head on. Inspired by the gentle art of Swedish death cleaning, Nobody Wants Your Shit will light a fire under your untidy butt, it says ass, with humor and helpful organizing tips that you'll actually want to use. Like a delightfully foul-mouthed best friend, this book dishes out the funny, unpretentious advice you need to hear most. You'll discover how to deal with your shit like there's no tomorrow, live in the moment without the effing mess, and make your life and your eventual death a hell of a lot easier. With this witty guide, you'll learn how to ditch the damn indecision, get your shit together and feel fantastic, give your busy family an effing break, and more. So we'll see how that one goes. I'll run and grab the workbook. The workbook is not by the same people, but it'll just help you to... I don't remember if I showed you the workbook, but I don't think I did because I think we've been doing crafts and stuff. So this is the workbook, Nobody Wants Your Shit workbook, and it just gives you places to write out the prompts and questions and stuff in this book. This gives you a place to write it out and help work through your stuff. So I'm interested to read that. I don't think it'll be too long of a read. And some of the stuff, I am an organized pack rat, so I'm very good at organizing and cleaning and that. And I have read the Art of Tidying, and I have that book by Marie Kondo. So I know how to make things tidy and clean and organized. But we'll see if I get anything out of there, right? Use it or lose it. I need to de-hoard. So this book I've been reading, I'm finished. I finished today. On the way back from Steve's dad's house, we went up there to go to the Bridgewater Carnival Parade for Guy Fawkes Day, and it was an awesome parade again. And then look what bookmark I'm using, because I actually read the actual book instead of on my phone. And this is a bookmark that I made when I first got here of one of my first cross stitch things. Can I hold this? So I'm going to use it and read my next book. Boom! I can't believe I read a book. I always feel good when I read books, when I finish a book. So this book, I've showed you guys my witchcraft stuff, my witch casket stuff that I get monthly. Well, this is The Witctionary, an A to Z of magical terms and their meanings by Deb Robinson. Her and her daughter are the creators of Witch Casket, and this is her first book, and I'm very excited to read it. It has good reviews, and I get literally an A to Z of everything. So this is my next book that I'm going to be perusing, and I'll let you guys know how it is. But the thing is, I first bought this when it was on pre-order to support her and because I wanted a copy of it. Then when she got all her copies and it was almost ready to post them out, she offered signed copies. So then I'm like, oh my God, do I cancel my Amazon order? What do I do now? Because I want a signed copy. But then I was like, oh, I'll keep my Amazon one and then I'll give it to somebody or do something with it. But this is the signed copy that I got, but I don't want to, so I'm going to read the non-signed copy, and the signed copy can, and look what else I got with it, because, so I got a couple bookmarks. Magic Lies Within. Yep, okay. And I got a sticker. So the Magic Study, this is her new course and stuff like that too that she has. That you can start, she's starting to put out other things to help people learn from the beginning and in a simple way, and make witchcraft accessible to lots of people. So the Magic Study. Thank you for your order, blessed be. So this book is technically part of the Magic Study, which is her trying to teach in an easy way that's accessible to lots of people. So this is the signed copy. Blessings and good luck, Deb. So it doesn't say my name in it. It's just, you know, when they sign a bunch of copies. I gotta stick my face in here. I want it to be a nice picture when I screenshot it. Well, maybe I'll do it this way so that all right. So I'm going to put that one away back in where it came. That's so funny. Like that, I have a book about de-hoarding, and then I'm showing you all new purchases and things that, you know, to hoard more. And then I was about to start this one, Baba Yaga, the Book of Witchcraft. I don't remember if I showed you this. I'm obsessed with Baba Yaga. I've always loved her, and this is a big one to read though. So I'm going to do the Witchinary first, and then this one, as well as the other two that I have on my phone that I'm reading like monthly or seasonally, which is the Wild Remedy and Slow Seasons, I think it's called. So I'm reading those as well, but like one of them, again, it's monthly that I read, so that I can read what's going on in that month, like November right now, and then the other one is not in seasons, it's in the celebrations, like how we were just in Samhain for the like pagan calendar, so the different times of the wheel of the year. Anyhowser, I think that's, oh no, there's something else I want to show you. Let me just have a sip of my drink. Yeah, you can tell I'm feeling better because I'm talking. So this was something that I was doing with the Halloween crafts that I saw online, and because in North America they have big 4-liter jugs of milk, they're like big square ones. I didn't know if it would work with our bigger jugs, but it has. So I'm using one of my ceramic skulls, so it's not a plastic skull that I'm using, and you put the milk jug on. This is the top of the milk jug, that's the bottom. I cut off the handle so I could slide the ceramic one in there, and then you take your heat gun and you heat it up. You want it to be soft enough that it's pliable, but see how in the eyes it melted right through? You don't want it to be that hot. Where you're melting holes in it, but you warm it up so that it's pliable. But if you touch it with your hands after you've warmed it up, it's too hot, you'll burn yourself. So you take a wet sponge, and after you warm it up, it's pliable. You use your wet sponge to push it into place, and that is what I've been doing. So I only got halfway done that. I love because this is all the top where it was like really tall and not shaped to the head, but I made it into these lines where I could probably paint them and make it look really cool. So I've only got him like halfway done because I ran out of time the day I was doing him, and I haven't got back to him. So like this fold here, I'll fold that over and make a nice line there, and then you will pop them out of there after, and I can make another one. So I'll let you guys know what it looks like when it's finally done. I saw one of the things I saved from Halloween is a guy who made a bunch of these milk jug skulls, and then he put them in like a short wall that he made, and it had like the skulls sticking out and then moss and everything else, like it looked like a rock wall, but with skull heads in it, because once you paint them, they can look really, really cool and stuff. So that is my milk jug skull so far. Pretty easy, just time consuming. And I only have a short like cord on my heat gun, so I was standing at the counter, so my back got really sore from standing for so long, so I need to get an extension lead so I can sit down at a table and do it. So my pile of stuff, that's all. Oh, okay, so I also told you guys about when I was in the hospital when I was 4 and my baby doll that I had, and it did have my name on it, but you can't really see it, it's worn off. So this is my baby doll that my friend Trish, when we lived together, she didn't like it. She was creeped out. You can see it's been sewn there. There's somewhere else I think it's been sewn too. So it's had some patching on the side there. And the hair, I haven't been able to find these dolls, but I don't think the hair was cut. I think it just needs to be like softened and restyled. But then again, we know my hair too. So this is my baby doll from when I was a baby, and this is the one that I remember having in the hospital with me when I was 4. So this doll is as old as me. I don't have a name for it. I don't even know if, like, Mom, if you're watching now or later, I don't know if I ever named her anything or called her anything. So let me know if you know a name for her, Mom. But that is my baby doll. Even if you think it's creepy, she's mine, and she was at the hospital with me, so I love her. And then I shared a picture like in September of, there was these 2 little guys and sitting there, and I said, what would you do if you saw him? And he looked so sad. His eyes looked so sad. He looks too happy with you guys because of the ring light too. He looks happy, but he was looking sad, and he needed a home. But now he's happy because he is home. But yeah, he just looked too sad. So this is, what's his name again? Oki. Oki had to come home. So sweet. So that's Oki the raccoon. Now I think I'm done showing you guys everything that I wanted to show you, and we can just continue to talk. I'm not using my microphone tonight because, well, I was charging it because I didn't charge it. And so let's see what's happening here. Well, I was going to charge it, and now it doesn't look like it's even charging. Yeah, it's still red. It's still charging. But yeah, so that's not a smart move on me. I even brought the microphone with us to Steve's dad's in case I needed to use it wherever we were in the car or whatever. But it doesn't help if it's not charged. Luckily, it's quiet here. I'm close enough to the camera that you guys are going to pick this up like how it's been for the last few years. But I do know that the microphone works a lot better. So yeah, I'll try to have it charged every week and not be a dummy-dumb. The other thing is, like, so Steve bought me the one, he bought me the one that I just showed you, and then it has this piece that goes into a USB-C port. He bought me that one originally, and my phone was a lightning port, so I couldn't use it. So then, because he's awesome, he bought me another one that uses the lightning port, and it had 2 microphones with it. But now he's bought me a new phone, and oh, there's the lightning thing for it. He's bought me a new phone, and it has a USB-C. So these ones with the lightning things, I can't use them with this, but it shows on the box for both of them that you can use with 1 or 2. And so, like, this one only came with 1, but it shows you can use it for 2. So I was trying to connect to see if the microphones from the other set would work with this one, but it wasn't connecting. So there might be a way to do it. I just wasn't able to do it before I started my live. But you know me, maybe I'll get my shit together eventually. So, so busy week this week. We have So Steve's, I think I told you guys that Steve's friend and one of his closest friends, Anne, passed away, him and Jackie's friend, Anne Jones, passed away. So her funeral is this week. I have painting class. We babysit this week. The furniture is coming this week. This couch is going tomorrow. So like quite a busy week this week. I'm hopefully going out with my friend Zena on Friday for a coffee date. And yeah, so it's a busy week, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully on Tuesday, because I don't think I have anything planned on Tuesday yet. Maybe grocery shopping, but I'll hopefully get out in the garden and get stuff done, because we haven't had frost days yet, knock on wood, but I need to deal with my cannas and bananas and callas and dahlias. The dahlias can take the first frost, that's fine, but the other ones I need to take down and put away before the frost hits. So that's on the agenda for me as well. I can't believe that I've just said all of that and it's only been 20 minutes. By the way, if I talk too slow or this seems a little bit boring, I don't think you can do it while you're watching me live, because it's live. But if you're watching this at a later time, you can click on it and there's a cog at the bottom, and click that cog and you can put it into double speed. So any of my old lives that you want to watch or listen to, you can put them in double speed if I don't talk fast enough for you already. Steve's not out for cards because too many of his mates are not out. Some of them are on holiday. And yeah, we had a good time in Somerset for the Bridgewater Carnival and visiting with Steve's dad. Amy and James and baby Jackson came up as well. So yeah, we had a good time. Sorry, I was stacking my Halloween. I want to start making some old vintage Halloween things too. So I really, listen, I know I'm bad at buying things, but I want to start. And then the other thing is, even if I make things, because I know I'm crafty and I know I'm creative and I know I can make these things, but then where do I store them until the next season? It's sad to me, like the autumn stuff can stay up, but it's sad to me that Halloween's already over and now my Halloween stuff is going to come down. And Remembrance Day is like next Monday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Then the Christmas stuff can go up. But it's just happening too fast, especially with me being sick for Halloween. I just, sad. So next Sunday, I will do a Remembrance Day theme. And then the Sunday after that, I'm going to do some autumn crafts before we get into the Christmas season. But there's always lots to do before Christmas, so we will get there sooner than later. But Remembrance Day comes first. So it's a quiet Sunday. After my live, I would love to just go to bed, but I'm not going to. And I had a nap on the 4-hour drive home for most of the way while Steve drove. But I am going to vacuum out this couch, make sure there's nothing stuck in the back and everything else before it gets picked up tomorrow. It's going to one of Thomas's friends, so it's nice that it has a happy home that it's going to, but I don't want to leave any of our stuff in it if there is anything in there. Dog toys, pens, hair elastics, who knows what gets stuck in the couch. So that is what I'm doing with my evening tonight before bed. I caught up on my paintings. So as you guys know, I go to painting every week and we work on a painting. We have 2 hours in class to do it. And a lot of times that is enough time. Sometimes, especially if I'm talking, you wouldn't guess that I'd be talking in class instead of doing my work. Then I don't get my paintings finished. But last week when I was done, like the same day that I did the painting, I wanted to finish that one and I wanted to finish the other ones that I hadn't finished because I don't want to be behind and I don't want to have all these half-finished paintings. So last week I sat down and painted 4 I finished that are from the last month and such. I'm going to grab them for you because I keep staring at them. I'm really proud of them too. That's the thing, is that not that I can't do good work in 2 hours, but I can obviously do better work when I have more time to focus on them. So the oldest one, I needed to do the rocks on this one. And actually, when I finished this one, when we first did this, I finished the Sea Holly at home as well. And then we didn't have time in class to do the rocks, or I didn't. So I finished them at home as well. This is got, it is watercolor, but the watercolor is mixed with gesso, which is like a white, thick, like primer type paint. So it makes it thicker. And the background even is like a gesso mixed with watercolor, which is a really cool idea that I didn't know you could even do. And then the white on top is just because my teacher has these things called ink blocks. They're like ink tense blocks. They're like sticks. They're not pastels, they're not chalks, but they're like water soluble, like long stick things. And they kind of go on like that. You can use watercolor pencils, but the things she has work better, but I didn't have those. So the white on there is just watercolor pencil. With a watercolor pencil, it looks like a colored pencil, like a pencil crayon, and you draw on it, but then you can take your paintbrush and you can wet it and then it'll work like watercolor, or you can just leave it where you don't wet it and it looks like that, like the drawing on there. So I finished that one. Then the next one that I had that I needed to finish was my seahorse, and I think he turned out great. I'm really happy with him. So also with that stuff that she has, those inked tense blocks, where you see what is the, you know, the coral and stuff like that, she has this fancy trick where you take like a piece of sandpaper and you take your stick and you use the sandpaper and the stick and you sand it a little and it drops these little sprinkles of it, and then you can tap the sandpaper to get more off. And so what I did, like we did with our brush, with our watercolor brush with water, you make your lines like all these waves with your water, then you use the stick with the sandpaper and sand it so that some of the stuff falls on it and it falls where your water is. And then you blow it off and it only sticks where the water is. And that's how we got that effect. And you can add different colors in. And then also where, if I wet it after, it would make the color go. So you can see where I wet it after or where I left it. Like the sparkly colors, just like the way they are. And yeah, I'm really happy with my seahorse. Same idea with the sea turtle. But I finished him at home, and again, I'm like really happy with how he turned out. Love the colors in it. Again, I would definitely color or paint seahorses and turtles and seahorses. I mean, sea turtles, tortoises, turtles, because I have quite a big collection of turtles. I used to collect them all the time, and I do love them. But with seahorses, it wouldn't have been something that I would have thought to do. And the colors, I just love our art teacher. I love the things she gets us to do, the simple things, the colors, the different things that you never thought that you would do. And they end up working. So I'm happy with those. I need to get like another portfolio so that it's like a black portfolio and you just unzip it and you open it and it has like clear slidey sheets in it, but you can get bigger ones depending on how big your art is. And just so that you can open that and they can show people the art, they can flip through it. So it's not just like this big stack of paintings just sitting in my art room. This is the one we did last week, and I didn't finish it in class, but I did all right in class, but I finished it at home, and I wasn't feeling well for it, so my brain wasn't working, and I didn't even think that I was like doing it like what we were supposed to do. And yet, honestly, I'm pretty impressed with it for my brain not working that day and even finishing it at home. So it's a cottage by the, well, it doesn't have to be the sea, but it's got a boat. It could be a lake, it could be, but it's just in a little inlet, like in a bay. So that is the last one that we did last week. So my teacher was sick for one of the weeks in October. So where we would be done that type of series where we're doing the watercolor with the ink tints and stuff, we're doing one more and that we would have done on the week that she was, like we're one behind. So we're doing that, and then we're getting into some other stuff for the month of November. But I'm excited. I love being part of a class. I like in the company of the ladies who are in the classes, and I like actually doing some art. I tend not to do it at home or finish because I have so many other things, but I like that I make time for my art, even if it's the 2 hours a week there. It's like I said, I didn't join it to be social, because we know that besides like when I feel like being social, I'm pretty keep to myself kind of thing. But it ended up, it is a community, and I like it like that. So it is a social thing, it's the art thing, and also Bex, our teacher, is one of my friends who I like and want to hang out with more, but she's always busy because she's always teaching. So this gives me a chance to hang out with her more too, even if it's just in a teaching capacity. So yeah, just like nice to have some type of hobby. Me and Steve went to, it's called Bubbly and Brushes. It's a paint night, usually on Fridays, that Rebecca teaches, and her friend Andrea and their other friend Sue run. Bubbly and Brushes, you can look it up if you're in and around Cheshire and stuff, and they do different ones. And we went to the one last Friday because it was they did one before like a few months ago, but we missed that one. I think it was before summertime even. So, but they were doing it again, which is the Highland Cow, and me and Steve went to that, and they turned out really well. But they're upstairs in our room, because when we got home, Steve was excited to bring them upstairs and show the kids what we painted, and then we set them in our room, and they've just been in there. So yeah, we enjoyed the Highland Cow. I did share pictures of it, but these ones that I just showed you, it was kind of a test, but kind of because Instagram's just being a butthole about me posting stuff. I put like a bunch of pictures together, and these being finished were hidden behind other pictures of like things that I posted, like my daily, whatever, my Pepper Tooth weekly plan, like motivational Mondays or whatever. I can't remember what day I posted them, but they were hidden in between some other photos. So I wanted to see, I didn't want to just put them out there like, look at me, look how great I am, although I am really proud of them, but I also did want to share them. But then I thought, well, if I put them like not as the first picture, but then I'll put them like in that group, and then we'll see if people like look at the whole group of pictures or not. And it doesn't seem like anybody really looked at them, because I know that had people really looked at the group of pictures, they probably would have said something on at least one of the paintings, but it doesn't look like anybody really looked at them. That's okay, because when I go to add all the candids to the October album, which I could do anytime now because October's over, then they'll be part of that as well, because they were painted in October. The only hard thing that I don't sign a picture until I'm done, and once I sign it, I can't work on it anymore. But my catch thing was like, do I sign these like the day that I finished them, which makes sense, so they all have the same day on them, or do I sign them the day that I did most of the painting and not the day I just finished them up, because that was just like touch-ups. I ended up signing them the day that I finished them, so it looks like I did 4 paintings in the same day. Actually, I accidentally wrote the 24th on one of them instead of the 30th, so because that's the year, so it actually says 24/10/24, but I just left it. So yeah, it looks like I was like really busy that day painting, but really I was just busy finishing all the ones that I hadn't finished in class. So this background thing, this to cover the couch, this is before I knew that we were going to buy new couches. There's a smaller one on this couch, but it's kind of fallen. These are from Temu. It's one of the things when I was seeing what Temu was like, they showed me these couch cover things, and I ordered them, and actually they work really well. And the colors are nice for autumn. So when the new couches come, they're leather. I might just use them on him anyways. I don't know if Steve will want anything covering his new couches, but especially right now while we're training Sasha, the puppy, to stay off of the furniture. Especially because in the past, the dogs have been allowed to lay on that one part of our couch here. But the new couches and chairs, no animals are allowed on them. We don't want any claws going through the leather. So, I mean, they should be durable. They're real leather, but not taking a chance. So I can put the covers on them while it's autumn stuff out, and to keep them protected while she's learning to stay off of them. I do have a headache as well. That's part of this illness, so the headache comes and goes. But like I said, I'm feeling a lot better, so I don't want to complain about the headache, but it is still there. October's gone. It's all gone. Now it's November. Is everybody ready for Christmas? You got all your Christmas shopping done? Me neither. Neither. But I am thinking about it, and I do shop throughout the year. This year I haven't done as much, but when I see things that I know are good for people. I need to make the list too of things that I already have, so that, because we like the kids to all have the same amount of gifts to open, so that one person's not getting this like one gift that costs more than the other person. The other one gets 5 gifts and they cost, you know what I mean? But then the other person's just sitting there watching and has nothing else to open. So even if they're like some novelty gifts, we like them to have the same amount to open, especially for like if they're all here on the same, like for Christmas morning or whatever. Yeah, so I gotta get into Christmas mode. But, yeah, putting away autumn and Halloween decorations. Oh, you know, the thing is, it is a lot of work, but I think, well, I don't know if I'm going to do it this time. But it just makes it feel so much different. It makes it feel so much better. The house feels like, as soon as I changed it from summer to autumn, just these colors make it feel warm and cozy. And so on a gray rainy day, which we have lots of here, it doesn't feel as bad being inside. You just want to snuggle up with, you know, your hedgehog and well, this is really soft as well, but so it makes such a difference. So yeah, as much of the work as I think like, oh, putting all this away and then bringing down the Christmas stuff and everything, it's always worth it. I don't ever regret doing the decorating. It just takes some work. And that's why, again, people will say it's too soon right after, you know, before December to decorate for Christmas. But the amount of time it takes me to decorate the way I want. Again, I did it last year, and this is what I've told you guys, and I'm going to stick through this. I will wait till after Remembrance Day for respect for them, and because that's what, you know, for Steve. And then once it's the next day, I can decorate, because I want everything done before December 1st, because the 24 days of Christmas, December 21st to Christmas Eve, I don't want to be decorating in those times. I don't want to be doing that kind of stuff. I might do crafts or something like that, something that's fun, but I want to enjoy my Christmas season as well. I don't want it to be where everyone else is enjoying their Christmas season because I'm the one decorating. So I want to get everything done before December 1st. And the amount of work that it can take, especially if I can't work on it like for hours in a day, I have to only do a bit at a time, then I do have to start early, and I don't care what anybody says. But it is kind of sad that my autumn stuff hasn't been out very long, and it's already time to go away almost, only for the Christmas stuff. But I'll start with the Halloween stuff first, because I only decorated with the autumn stuff in the living room and dining room. But in the entrance and hall, and then the 2 bathrooms and the kitchen, that's all Halloween stuff. So I can work on putting away the Halloween stuff first and leave the autumn stuff out until just before like Remembrance Day, and then switch it out with the Christmas stuff. Luckily, even up in the loft, the Halloween and autumn stuff go on one side of the loft, and the Christmas and Easter and summer and stuff is on the other side of the loft. So that doesn't interfere, it doesn't get in the way that way. Whereas like with the Christmas stuff, like right now, I do try and switch them if I have time, so that the next thing is like right at the front, so it's ready to come down, but I didn't. So when I put the spring and summer and Easter stuff up there, I put them back in front of the Christmas ones. So I have to kind of move them out of the way to pull all the Christmas bins forward. Not only the Christmas bins, but all the like tall things that can't fit in bins and stuff are sitting on top of the bins. So I have to bring all those things out first before we do all the bins. And my kids love me for having to help me with all this stuff. But it is the part that I need them to help me with is just getting them out of the loft onto the landing. I can carry them from the landing down the stairs, but it's just the ladder part that is not, it's easier just to pass them to someone than for me to try and get them down myself. So they have to, you know, I don't ask them to help me decorate or anything like that, but just helping me get them out of the loft. So I don't think that's too much to ask. Especially as I get older, that's the other thing, is that, yeah, I might as well decorate while I can, but I also realize that there's going to be a time where I'm not going to be able to do as much as I do now, especially like even carrying the bins from upstairs to downstairs. I try to make them at like an average weight, not too heavy, not too light. Like I try to balance all the stuff out in them so that they're all right to carry. But as we get older, our bodies are just not capable of as much, right? So there will be a time when I'm not going to be able to do it. So I guess in that sense, I should enjoy it while I can in making it. Plus, like what I was thinking about, because the kids always say like how they like it. They're not kids anymore, but you know what I mean? They like the way it feels too, with the different feeling of the different decorations. And now that we have grandkids, even though they're a bit young to care. I love the idea of that, of them coming over to Mima's house. Mima is what I'm called for grandma. Because Jackson, Amy's son, so Steve's daughter, Amy, her son is Jackson. And I got him to call me Mima because I am just a step grandma. Not that that's unimportant. I'm just saying that he already has 2 grandmas. And I didn't know what they were going to be called, if they were going to be Nana, Grandma, whatever. So I tried to choose something else so that you know, they're grandmas and I'm still like a grandma, but something different. So we went with Mima, which is like grandma in the United States, in the southern states, they say Mima. So that's me, Mima. So you come over to Mima and Granddad's house, and you know it's going to feel like a magical place for whatever season or a holiday it is, or whatever. So I do like that it's like that. And so I hope that I can continue to decorate, and that if I need help, the kids will help me. But yeah, and you know what, it's not that bad. It's like that. Honestly, the worst part of it is, putting them up and down from the loft. Like once they get down here and I can unpack them or pack them back up like that, it's just more time consuming, or even putting the decorations out, but none of it is too difficult. It's not like things are too heavy for me to lift onto the wall or anything like that. So it's just, I guess, yeah, it's time consuming. But it doesn't need to be. If I can get it done, like where I can focus on it, then it's not that bad. It's just when life is life. So there's a lot more important responsibilities than just decorating. So sometimes I can only get a little bit done, and then it's all sitting there waiting for me to get back to it. But I love the way it feels, and I don't mind doing it, and I guess I will continue to decorate as long as I can. My nose is stuffy, so I'm trying to like keep it, you know, so I don't sound too nasally while I'm talking to you guys. So we have like so many dog beds. Like I said, the dogs were allowed to lay on the couch, but because we're getting new couches, they're not going to have that one anymore. There's a big flat one on the ground in the corner that Thomas bought because Lena, the German Shepherd, was having problems with her back legs, and it was harder for her to get up on the couch. So he bought this big one for her because she's a big dog. But it's low on the ground, so she could lay in that one. So we have those. We have 2 of the like bowl type, like the hard plastic shaped ones. And then we have this other like off the ground little bed thing. But so the 2 bowls are here, one in the dining room, one in the living room. One of them usually goes in the office, but that was when Lena was alive because she liked being in there with me. Then that big one in the corner. This couch is going. And then that other one is out there. Like, I guess technically all 4 beds could stay because we still have Sasha, but I'm excited to see that too when we have the couches. So one of the 2-seaters and then the 2 armchairs are coming before, like, this week. They're coming this week. And the other 2-seater is getting made in Italy. That's where they're made. And it'll be here after Christmas, like in the new year. So that's okay because that gives me more room to put up the Christmas tree. But I'm excited to see where I'm going to put things. And you know that I've talked about, I don't know if you can see back there next to where the hedgehog is, that's where that ladder is up in the corner. And next to it, there's it goes up all the way to the ceiling there. It's what is it called again? Like chasing, is it? Like where they cut out part of the drywall so that they can put the wires in there for the plugs and stuff when the electricians came. Well, we are getting Aurora because she's doing plastering in school. Anyway, she's filling those for us and smoothing them out. So we'll do this one. After the couch is gone, she'll do them. Oh, she already did that one over there. She'll do this one. Yeah, so out of the four in the dining room, she's done 3 of them. So she just has that one to do when the couch is gone. Then we'll sand them lightly. She's done a really good job, so it's not going to take much sanding. And then I'll get the gray paint out, that's the wall color, and just match those up. And I'm excited to see how I'm going to arrange things in here. Behind the couch on this wall is the radiator, so the new couch might go in front of there, but like the cabinet that's over there, I can't really put it against that wall or it'll cover the radiator. And yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to set things up, but I'm excited. I like change. I like, as you guys know, with even decorating for different seasons. I like some things to stay the same, but I like things, like I like rearranging and changing things and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see how we put things and make it look nicer and more simple maybe. But yeah, it's exciting. And then the fireplace behind me in the dining room, that's what I said about like the 2 armchairs, is that even if we have the two-seaters out here and 1 armchair out here, we could have one of the armchairs facing the fireplace, because I know it's not a real fireplace, but I can burn my candles in there. Well, it was a real fireplace. I've told you guys this before. It's a gas-powered fireplace, but the gas is turned off to it, so it's not a wood-burning fireplace. But I can put candles in there and look nice, and just the way that the whole thing looks makes you feel nice. So I can sit in a chair. Again, even the armchairs are recliners, so I could sit in a chair there and read a book looking at my candles and my fire, you know, like, so I think that'll be nice to be like that. So we'll see, but it's very exciting. So when you guys see me next Sunday, it'll be the Remembrance Day one, but maybe I'll do it from the living room anyways, because we'll have our new part of our new furniture. And also we're getting a poof, what they call a poof. It's like a footstool, but it opens and you can put stuff in, which makes sense. I love when things are... My favorite IKEA catalog that I ever, because I used to get the catalogs every year, and my favorite one was the one that was based on small spaces, and I love that because I didn't know that I was going to have a house that's a good size like this, so I'm always appreciative and looking for like ways to utilize space in the best way. So when you have a big footstool, it makes sense that you would use the inside of it to store things. Otherwise, it's just empty, wasted space, right? So we got the footstool that matches the set that we got, and it opens so you can put some things in there. But one of the reasons that I wanted it is because in our living room, Steve doesn't have a coffee table, and I'm okay with that, especially a big, heavy coffee table, because I like the open space, and especially if I want to do my workouts and stuff, which, again, I need to start doing. But but I bought like a tray. You know those trays that they're like a table tray, and then they have legs that come out like this? So you can set them on a bed or whatever. I have that, and then you fold the legs underneath, and then it's like a big serving tray. So I set it on the poof, the footstool, and it acts like, because Steve was saying, like, if the chairs are reclining with the feet part coming up, you don't really need a footstool. But I like it so that it's something that you can use as a footstool, or I can put that tray on it, and it becomes like a coffee table if we have guests over. But it's easy enough to move in and out of the way instead of like a huge wooden coffee table. I do like coffee tables, don't get me wrong, but I like the open space in the living room, so I'm okay with the fact that he doesn't have... It's even like an area carpet. Like sometimes, like when Jackson was like a really little baby, I would roll down an area carpet here for him to play on, but I didn't want the dogs on it because of the hair and stuff. But I do like that there's no area carpet out here either, because, again, it would be uneven flooring for doing my workouts and stuff, so... Yep, it's all coming together slowly, excitedly, very, very exciting when anything, you know, I get excited about, like, even the littlest things, like, even the milk jug skull that I'm making is exciting, and, you know, like, it doesn't have to be something that costs money or whatever. It's just, I just love when things work out or something exciting like that. So even stringing up my, like, putting string into these guys, I'm excited about that. But, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you guys this week. Oopsie. I do need to find someone in Canada to send me, like, I want some of the poppies that you guys, I keep dropping my, I want some of the poppies that, when you donate in Canada to the Legion or whatever, the poppies that you guys get, the velvet ones, I want some of those. And every year I tell you guys on my live that I'm going to show you the way they look in Canada. And then I can't remember where I put them. And then later in the year, I'm like, oh, here they are. That makes sense. That's why I have them here. And then now that's what I'm like, wait, where are they? So I'll try and find some that I have, but I would like somebody in Canada to send me some if they could. Whatever they donate, I can donate and I can pay for the shipping. I just want some of the velvety ones from Canada. Where here, the ones that we get, well, a lot of them I buy like the pins, like enamel pins. But the other ones, they're not, you do stickers as well. But anyways, yeah, so I think I've showed them to you in the past. So Remembrance Day coming up. Bonfire night for us here in the UK, which is Guy Fawkes Day. So he's, I guess the Houses of Parliament were run by Protestants and he was a Christian. and he tried to put, like, it's a gunpowder plot. Like, he put a bunch of gunpowder under the Parliament buildings so that he could blow them up, but he failed. So then he got arrested and everything else, and they celebrate that the plot failed. And that's what Bonfire Night is on, remember the 5th of November. So that was like this weekend when we went to the parade. It was the Bridgewater Guy Fawkes Carnival Parade, and it was for this weekend. So this Saturday, which was yesterday, it was lots of bonfires and fireworks and everything else, but also on the actual day, which is, so today's the 3rd, yeah, so Tuesday, there'll be more bonfires and fireworks and stuff like that. So that's coming up this week as well. So whatever you're doing this week, have fun, and we will see you next Sunday for another rambling hour. All right? I love you guys. Have a good week. Love you. Bye.